one thing that surprised me on the road trip was you when you're constantly on the air, sometimes you go to a point, it's open road, nothing to block the signal, and it just like loses connection.
Yeah.
And then you go in like a mile-long tunnel, and it's just like perfect signal all the way through. And I'm like, what?
It's so random, man.
How does this work? I should know because I'm an electronic engineer, but I'm just like, how are we having signal right now?
It's cell phone towers. You gotta be close, and also depends on which provider they are, which sims I have.
Right.
But I have multiple different sims that should cover everything, but it really depends. Certain areas should have just nothing.
Yeah.
The first day was pretty tough, I think. There was not a lot on Awaji, surprisingly. And the third day we did, which Grant joined us for, we did
golf.
Golf. We went to a driving range.
And this was the first time I'd been on a driving range or like picked up a golf club since I was, I think, like 18, 17.
It was fun.
It's so much fun.
I told you. I've been telling you boys that we should go to golf.
I missed it so much. I missed it so
It's not until you
much.
hit the driving range where you're like, why is this fun?
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that, and we did a competition to see who could hit it the furthest.
Yeah.
I won.
You won.
Yeah. I got one very good shot, and that was it.
That's all you need, man.
Dude, it was so fun. I want to go driving range more.
Yeah.
And then we did, what else did we do that day? I forgot.
We did sand surfing.
Yeah, we went sand surfing Totori.
Yeah,
hell
Totori.
yeah.
That was fun.
We went back to the ghost town that is Totori. I drove past the industrial area and we're like, don't look at that. Don't look at that. All right, look at the sand dunes.
Yeah.
Which I think looked even more like the weather conditions and just the color. What looked even better than when we went there on our road trip special.
Because the cameras we were using for this live stream were better than the cameras we filmed the road trip special on.
Right.
So it looks better live, which is insane.
Yeah.
And I also didn't know if Totori was going to have internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Totori has great internet as well.
Yeah.
So fun fact, there you go.
How does that work? I don't know.
So we were it looks insane on the stream. We're just in the middle of a desert streaming.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck? And then we're going down these hills and it looks great.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks so underwhelming on camera, but it was kind of scary going down these because you're going pretty fast in sand. I mean, I didn't fall, so I can't.
Yeah.
Can't
Oh, it probably hurts way more.
I imagine
than
you fell on your wrist, right?
I fell on my wrist once. Okay, so I'll say it right now. Sand surfing.
It's kind of meh. It was kind of meh.
It was kind of a meh experience.
Yeah, because you just go down and you can't do hills that are super crazy because I guess if you get too fast, falling would be pretty dangerous.
And you can't turn either. We weren't given any instructions. So how I described it, sand surfing was basically felt like a tutorial level for snowboarding. Because I remember...
With bigger consequences.
yeah, basically. You fall, it hurts a little bit more. But essentially, you go up to the hill. And I remember we had an instructor there. And I was preparing myself for the instructions to start. And the instructions were, so don't fall.
Yeah, that was literally
That was like, don't try to turn. You're just going straight. Just don't fall. And that was the instructions. And he was like, okay, go.
You might as well have just like been on a sled then at that point. Like that would have been no different.
Actually, he told us before we started, he was like, if you think this is going to be like snowboarding, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How can it be? It wasn't that hard, actually. He was capping.
Yeah.
It was like snowboarding.
Yeah.
You just have to balance the same way.
Yeah.
But also, all he said was, he said it might be too hard, so he brought sleds as well, which was kind of worrying because I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. Too hard. Is someone going to hurt themselves? So he just gave us a helmet. He said, bend your knees and then just go. That was all.
Yep.
Wow, what great instructions.
He pushed us, yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes, oh, by the way, 10-year-olds can do this. So like, rub it in.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
But they were all really nice.
Yeah, they were really nice. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of, like I said, it was kind of like snowboarding, except you couldn't do anything but go straight. So essentially, you just kind of had to learn how to balance going down a hill pretty fast. And I'd forgotten, like, it's been a while since I last snowboarded, and I'd forgotten basically everything I got told when I first started snowboarding. Because I remember going snowboarding for the first time with the boys, and the first thing they told me was, when you fall, don't put your hands out.
Yep.
You gotta put your hands in. And for some reason, my mind was just like, sand's different. Sand's totally different.
I'll go straight through it.
Yeah. Sand is totally different than snow. I don't have to worry about sand.
Yeah.
And the first time I fell, I put my hand out, and it wasn't even like that big of a fall. I was going nowhere near as fast as I was going when I was like snowboarding, but I just had like a little bit, and my wrist hit my wrist, and I had that immediate moment where I was like, oh, that felt bad. That felt bad. I was like, okay, it's not broken. I might have sprained it. Luckily, I didn't sprain it, but had a big wake up call very, very fast. Falling on sand surfing, the fall, it might not be as hard as snowboarding, but the fall definitely hurts more. And luckily, I wasn't the one who ate the most shit. Probably Didas did.
Oh my God. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Didas, he would nail it going down, and the moment like the hill went from this to kind of like this, he just kind of lost his balance every time and face planted. I felt so bad for him. He just kept getting beaten up.
Jesus Christ.
He had a few falls that looked pretty painful.
Oh my God.
But he powered through it. He's a tank.
Trooper.
It was fun, but it was kind of like, it was very much like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, that's all we could do.
Yeah.
Like I'd feel like
Kind of sucks.
I mean, it was definitely, I think it was still like a fun place to check out. And it, I think, cause like we hit like every kind of scenery. Like we went from like beautiful, stunning green islands to snow to desert and then back to Osaka. It was kind of like, it covered everything. And then we did that. And then we played not video games. We played games in the RV, which is really fun actually.
Yeah.
Break the Ice is a great game.
Yeah. You kind of introduced me to Break the Ice.
You played this game?
No.
It's like a little thing where it's like a penguin in the middle and a bunch of hexagons.
Yes, I have played this.
And then you go like,
Yeah,
so good. It's such a good game when everyone's kind of hype and ready and you have like punishments and it was so good.
It's kind of like that mini game from Fall Guys, the one with the hexagons. And you step
Except
on it
you
and
have to
they
hit them.
disappear.
Yeah.
But you have to hit them off.
Such a good game. There's so many good clips from it, and it was just it was such a good fun board game.
I think as much as like you guys did these like amazing things on the RV strip, I think my favorite clip to be birthed out of it was when you asked Didas what Milo was.
He got him good. He got him good.
It looked scripted. That's how perfect it was. Because he was so sincere about it. It's always like, what's Milo?
I thank you to the guy in Australia who got us with that because that trained us to get someone else with it.
It's our new favorite.
Yeah, it's my new favorite. As a Southeast Asian, that's my new favorite because we fucking love Milo in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
You know, that's our chocolate of choice.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
No, oh yeah, I said, oh yeah.
Oh no.
Now your screen just went, oh yeah, and I was like, what? yeah.
Is it much better than Nesquik, or is it?
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Hell
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Australia's the same. We fucking love our Milo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good.
It was good because it was
depends.
like there was a lot of good clips in the car, and you know it's more of a podcast when it's in the car, and then it's back to the activities.
Yeah.
And the board
Sure.
games are really fun. That was one of my favorite aspects to it.
Yeah.
And just playing dumb board games and just everyone has their own rules to everything. And
That's
like
what I'm saying, man.
Jenga.
We got to do more board games.
Jenga is
after
just
that.
like, what are the rules of Jenga? Because we just kind of like made it up as we go along.
There's like a million local
The only
rules.
rule that was sacred was top 3 layers can't touch top 3 layers. That's the
And I
only
guess if
sacred
you touch
rule.
it, you have to move it. Was the one that we played.
Yeah.
as
And you
well.
have to use one hand only, right?
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah,
rule.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's an official rule. I swear people just make up rules for Jenga. Be like, yeah, let's just make it a billion times harder than it actually is supposed to be.
Yeah, like we had this one moment where I swear this isn't allowed, but we had to run with the one hand thing.
Yeah.
And Connor used his one hand to basically change the entire structural integrity of this tower. It went from like a Jenga tower to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and he was just like balancing it.
I was getting it out my finger while kind of holding the rest of the stuff in my hand.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
Really?
I was
I
saying
thought- I
this
thought you could do
looks
that.
so illegal right now.
Because it was like, what sucked is that we were like 4 turns in, and this one block wouldn't move. And I was
That's
like,
the point.
And I was like, are we really going to end this game in 4 turns? That's so boring.
Yeah, but how is that any different to like grabbing it with one and then using your other hand to just hold the entire thing in place, right?
I mean, like, honestly, Jenga should always get to that point in my mind where like you holding it makes no difference to like if I like it gets to the point where me holding it is just gonna make it worse. You know what I mean? Because it gets so fucked the tower. It's like holding it is actually a disadvantage. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm trolling. I played it wrong. But
house rules, RV rules.
And it was like snowing outside, and we had the because the connection was kind of mad. We had like the Starlink on a table outside of the van connected to this generator, and then we were just using that internet, and that was like saving the stream, making
hell
it
yeah.
way better. Because we were in the middle of nowhere again, and that saved it. And then the last day we did Airsoft. So
That was
survival
so
game.
much fun.
Yeah,
Hold
Airsoft
on,
was
that was
good.
my first time airsofting.
Yeah, me too.
That lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to go again now. Like
It was fun.
I think I found it funner than paintballing.
Yeah, well, it hurts a little less.
It hurts a little less, and the guns just look cooler as well.
Yeah.
You know, reloading a airsoft gun actually feels like more similar to
true.
reloading a real gun rather than just fucking like
Yeah.
pouring a bunch of paintballs into the gun.
Yeah, that was fun. We had to
Yeah.
we were like, again, we had to like move the Starlink around to get internet because the bitrate was terrible there. It was such bad
yeah.
internet because obviously it's an airsoft field. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah,
But we
got
managed
shot
to
on
get
the
it to
neck
work.
3 times.
Yeah, your
by
neck's fucked
Doug.
up.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I got shot on my
Looks
head
like
as
I
well.
got bitten
my
by
God.
a vampire actually.
Hey, you guys said it hurts less than a paintball.
It does hurt less.
I mean,
than
this one
paintball.
fucking hurt. This one clocked
Yeah, I
me
was
in my
about to say
forehead.
like the scars tell me otherwise.
There's one red dot on Connor's
Yeah.
forehead that I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Headshot. That was the kill cam.
Because
Right?
like most of them are fine. Like,
Yeah.
they're like little stings, but like if you get hit in the head or the neck, I feel
Yeah.
like that's where it fucking.
my
hurts.
legs hurt so much because we were in a course where it was just like a bunch of like parts cars, it was like the car park kind of area. First thing Dinah says was like, "Oh, I thought these were real cars, so I tried not to like shoot them." And then like they had broken windows and shit. But unfortunately, do you remember that?
Yeah, I couldn't believe you said that.
Average car park in Maine.
Average Ohio car park,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, like unfortunately, being tall was a huge disadvantage in this one because if I just poked my head out, I would instantly get headshot. It was actually really easy to be quite accurate on the airsoft.
Yeah.
It was like surprisingly accurate because
That's cool.
yeah. Because I got a few headshots from like a distance. You got so many shots from a distance as
Yeah,
well.
I got a lot of headshots from
Yeah.
distance, especially on Didus.
That's,
Man,
an,
it's not
that's
bad.
an FPS player advantage.
yeah,
for you.
FPS player advantage,
Well, because I
right?
realized like when you're aiming it, like obviously I'm not like cracked at aiming airsoft because I haven't played it, but like
Yeah.
you shoot and unlike paintball, the airsoft bullet always goes the exact same like trajectory unless the wind
Yeah.
stops changing. So all you do is like do, and you can see where it's going, then just keep like
Yeah.
readjusting, and then you can pretty much get it so that like if they poke their head at all, you can just get them.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get their
Right,
head.
right.
Yeah.
And you can just slightly adjust. So I just kept doing that, and I kept getting Didus out. I felt so bad. I headshot him so many times.
Next time I see him, his face is just going to be like, fuck.
Well, luckily he was wearing
Like
a
a
really thick. He
beehive.
was wearing a thick hat, so like his face was totally covered.
Right. Yeah.
He had the one that covered his ears too, so it was like he was.
Oh,
he
man.
was fine.
He was ready.
But yeah, it was really fun, and we had like unfortunately the cameraman had to go around with us, and he would get
Yeah.
shot sometimes because he was just going around. It looked awesome. It looked like an FPS thing, and again, it was like great quality, like 4K in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then we changed POVs where there was an area where you could go above and you could look down.
Oh,
with
wow.
the camera. So it was kind of like bird eye view of the whole
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
happening. Us
It's like
shooting
no
each other.
clipping.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like such a cool stream, and we had such fun with it. And
We
it was great.
We had this one game where I just could not find Pete, and Pete clipped into another map. Right, there was like this indoor stage, right? That was like very narrow corridors, and Pete spent like whole 5 minutes in this outdoor map, and he didn't even know he was in a different
We
map.
didn't know he was in a different area. Like we didn't know that.
bro clipped out to a different fucking stage, man. But yeah, like it hurts a lot less than paintball. Like paintball, I feel like you can still even if you're wearing like thick clothes, you can still kind of feel it.
Oh, yeah.
This one, unless you get shot like directly on the skin, it doesn't really hurt that much.
Yeah.
Have you been paintballing before?
I've been paintballing before. I've never been airsofting.
Right.
Yeah, and I've been shot directly with a paintball before. And
That sounds like a very Aussie thing. Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. As punishment for whoever got the least amount of points, you'd have to get shot directly in the stomach with a paintball. And I had that a couple of times, and I was left with like literal holes in my stomach. For,
Bro,
like,
the bruises
weeks.
you get from paintballing.
Oh, it hurts
Yeah.
so much.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
paintballing feels more like you're just trying to avoid getting killed, and airsoft felt more kind of because it didn't hurt as much. You kind of felt more fun. Pushing and, like,
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy that
Yeah.
adrenaline aspect of paintball where you're like, I just don't want to get shot.
Yeah, paintball is like Valorant, and airsoft is more like COD, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because you do not want to get shot in paintball. You know,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like, well, it's one shot kill. If I'm getting shot, I'm fucking out, man. But with airsoft, you're like, I can run this, I can run and go.
40 seconds! Yeah, you would just run around corners because you
Yeah.
knew that if you got shot, it wasn't like the end of the world.
Yeah.
But paintballing's like, well, I'm gonna have a bruise if I get shot. So I have to actually like
This thing's
think
gonna
about-
hurt.
I have to
Yeah.
think about what's happening. Man, yeah, no, I had such a fun RV stream. Then we just drove back and ended it, and that was like 40 hours of streaming.
Hell yeah.
How's it being live for like that long?
It's okay for me.
I mean, he's done subathons before, so
Yeah,
that's all we know.
I'm okay with it, but like, man, doing it and driving is tough. Like, driving is taxing mentally anyway,
Yeah.
and then trying to also be like good, like conversing while driving is hard.
Yeah.
Which is why it's great to have, you and Pete and Didas.
Yeah, the real question was, how was it for you? Because you're probably not used to that.
I was actually like pretty fine with it.
I thought you've gotten really good at it.
I think after the 24-hour charity stream we did, that was like hard mode for me, and then everything afterwards was pretty easy. Because I remember like I think Didas and Pete, they were telling me like the second day was like tough to like make sure there was no dead air. Anytime for like 13 hours, right?
Yeah.
So like they were really happy. I tried to like put as much of the pressure off as possible. But yeah, it's just kind of like I said, after you like survive 24 hours with sleep deprivation and just like constantly talking, I feel like anything's possible. Anything's possible afterwards.
That's fair.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to do when I'm driving because I want to be zoned out when I'm driving, you know?
Yeah. I mean, especially when because that's my first time ever driving a car that big. I think that's literally like the limit of what the license allows in Japan.
Yeah. Anything after that is just a truck.
Anything after that, I have to get a different license.
Yeah.
Because even like certain RVs, I can't drive. Like I have to drive the smaller RVs and the lighter ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get a different RV initially, but it was slightly too heavy. So I had to get this one. Which is fine, but it was really fun to drive it. Like it was, because the difference between like a car and an RV is an RV, you're kind of like deeper, way more forward in the RV. So you're like, there's pretty much no distance between your feet and where the car ends. So you can really clearly see where the car is like everywhere. Whereas like with a normal car that's kind of like got a bigger front, it's like sometimes it's way harder to figure out where the fuck the front of the car is. Sometimes. Especially like that corner, or I guess if you're in America, it'd be that corner. So not words. But it was fun though, because you get like this panoramic view of the road, because you have these giant windows to all sides of you that you can see, and these giant mirrors, and the dash cam, the behind you cam, like the rear view cam, is like on this big screen. It's really fun to drive. Scary on some roads, but I think I got pretty good at driving it by the end. I knew how to.
You look like a proper trucker. You had fully embraced that role.
It was
You
fun.
just needed the hat.
I had the trucker hat.
Yeah, you had the trucker hat. You needed the Red Bull and the packet of cigarettes, and you were all set.
One of my favorite like out of context screenshots was like it was when Connor was driving and the stream had glitched, so it looked like he just removed his chin, so it just gave Connor like a fucking leafy chin where it was just like no chin Connor.
Trucker Connor.
Sage.
Yeah, that was my favorite out of context clip. I'd say congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very well.
Good on you, man.
Thank you. I'll probably do another one at some point in the future, and I'll probably figure out how to make it better.
For sure.
There's definitely ways it can be improved.
Well, what do you think about how you can improve it?
I think having either another additional person join the whole time or rotate out more people is definitely a way to kind of make sure that everyone can be more energetic, because it's demanding. Like 13 hours every day is pretty tough for most people. Even like streamers, especially when you're doing stuff outdoors as well, and you're actually getting physical.
Right.
It can be pretty demanding. Probably, I don't know, maybe I feel like I'd have to stay in the RV, but I wouldn't make other people stay in the RV. I feel like just staying in a hotel is so much better, because also like showering was annoying. Like getting
hot water was a commodity.
I don't think we had like no hot water like any time. Like all the campsites had freezing water. It was just so cold. It sucked so much. Definitely gotta find someone who maybe understands the bag and the streaming stuff more.
So you're not the only tech.
Well, because it's like we start this like the morning prep is like I wake up, I have to get all this bag stuff ready and stuff, and it's like, well, man, I wish I could just shower, turn on the camera, and we're going, right? But it's like I have to get it all ready. I have to make sure everything's charged, make sure it's all working.
Right.
And then when we go to bed, when the stream ends, I have to unplug everything, make sure everyone knows what to charge what, and just get everything ready before I can start going to bed. So it's kind of tough. I'm just trying to think of how I can make it better. But it was really, really fun, really successful, and I want to do it again.
Hell yeah.